Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we are doing the full review for the Fanatec DD Pro, the GT7 edition that comes with the 8 Newton meter boost pack. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, I put out basically like a first impressions review after 5 hours of using this setup. I've had it now for 3 days. I've been playing around with it. I have tested multiple games, multiple different settings for this thing, and I've come to this weird conclusion that on the PlayStation 5 itself, when using it with the PlayStation 5 games, I found that setting it at 70% power has been pretty dang overall good on the PlayStation platform. Now on the PC, this is a mixed bag, guys. This is a mixed bag for sure. On the PC, setting it at 100% power has been a little bit more optimal. Well, that's weird. I know that doesn't make any sense, but in my honest opinion, and the console guys can argue all they want, PC guys can argue all you want, the PC versions of these games just seem to have a more refined overall force feedback experience. They just do. It doesn't matter what you say. It just is that way. It feels completely different on the same games. I'm testing the same games, guys. Dirt Rally 2.0, WRC 10, WRC Generations, Assetto Corsa Competizione, and then playing Gran Turismo, as well as some other games, Dirt Rally, not Dirt Rally, but Dakar Desert Rally. There's just games that I'm testing that some of them I have the exact same game on both platforms, PC and PlayStation 5, as well as using the Raz 1 Lucian, as well as using the Raz 1 Lucian 2 to get full Xbox compatibility, and then testing some of the games on that as well with the same direct drive motor. Now I'm using this thing on all three platforms, and I'll tell you right now that yes, setting the DD Pro to 8 Newton meters to full 100% power, even with the GT7 rim on the PC, feels inherently better on Assetto Corsa Competizione than playing it on the PlayStation 5. It just feels better. And that was the exact same thing that was the exact same conclusion I was coming to with the Camus Direct Drive, playing that on the PC. Even with the Thrustmaster TX, guys, even with the Thrustmaster TX, between Assetto Corsa Competizione on Xbox and PC, playing that with between those, the feeling was just better on the PC platform. It was just better. So as it sits right now, if you're getting a DD Pro and you're going to use it for your PC, yeah, setting it all the way to 8 Newton meters to 100%, and then adjusting your force feedback up and down the scale on your games definitely is the way to go. Now there's another setting. Let me just pull up this. I'm going to pull up this, if I can find my freaking pointer across all these. I'll pull up the Fanatec. The Fanatec software. Let me go ahead and turn on screen capture real quick just for a minute. And now we're going to put that on screen 1. And then we'll be done with that. Now let me just make myself here just a wee bit smaller. Go ahead and turn off this. And then, so, all right. Now here is the Fanatec settings for your motor. And as you can see right now, I've got to set it over 99. I had it set at 99. Sorry. My wheel angle is at 900. The last game I was just playing was Dirt Rally 2.0 on PC, and I had that thing set at 99. The force feedback here at peak. The natural damper, I got that set at 50%. Okay. 50% seems to feel pretty good for me. I haven't really played around with the natural friction or natural inertia just yet. I've left those pretty much off. I will, because I mean, I bought this thing. I'm going to keep updating, a bunch more. You're going to get a bunch more Fanatec videos out of me, a lot more. The F FFB interpolation filter, I've got that set at 15. 15 is where I found that to be pretty dang good so far. And then I got the force inertia, force effect intensity set right here at about 20 for like some smoothing and stuff. Now these right here, pretty much all of these settings right here, pretty much, the Fanatec thing, they have like this, they've been doing this for what, 25 years. They've got everything all set up. They're getting feedback from, different types of sim racers. They're building this stuff out. They do some pretty extreme testing when it comes to their products. So Fanatec, they really are a gold standard when it comes to this type of stuff. And you can ask anybody that owns a Fanatec product. These guys really are, it really is a top of the line product. And in my honest, humble opinion, you are paying a Fanatec premium for the quality that you're getting right now out of this DD Pro. You are paying that extra money, and there's a reason why. I think because you're not going to need to upgrade to another setup anytime soon. I know. When it comes to the Camus Direct Drive wheel that I have, the 15 Newton meter base, with the pedal set and everything, you're a comparable price. You're literally at a comparable price depending on shipping where you're at. I don't know how much shipping is going to be. I didn't buy the Camus outright. They sent that to me, and I have nothing but good things to say about Camus Direct Drive. Nothing but good things. If you're using it for a PC and that's what you want to use it for, like, you're paying a comparable price, you're getting more power, you're getting a far I'm not going to say far better pedal set, but you are getting a more top of the line 3 pedal set with the brake kit and everything for the same price that you're going to get, their base $79 pedals, a GT7. Well, actually, you can put your own little kit together for this Fanatec and be at a pretty much comparable price to what you would get with the Camus. So I'm not going to just outright say, yeah, dude, just go with Camus. Camus is, they're new to the scene. It is a pretty decent setup. I really haven't had any issues with it. When it comes to the force feedback and everything in there, that feels great. It feels really good. Now the Fanatec, I finally understand the extra feelings that everybody is talking about, because there are. You can feel in something like Dirt Rally 2.0, the ground effect, the way the ground feels, you can feel a little bit more like you're driving over like a dirt texture, like a dirt road. You can feel that extra like grittiness that for the most part it's not there on the Camus, but if you've never felt it, you're never gonna miss it. You know what I mean? Like, it's there. It's almost like it's almost like going from HD rumble to like the haptic feedback, like that haptic feedback feel. You get that little extra haptic feedback feel. And that's the best way I can describe it. And I noticed this when I was playing on Assetto Corsa Competizione on the PC version. Not on the console version, but on the PC version. Like when you're sitting in the car before you start the time trial and you kind of turn the wheel, you can feel like this little bit of a it's like this added extra feeling that you can feel. Now, I don't feel it necessarily when driving around the tracks. That to me, either way, like the Camus or the and the only reason I'm talking about Camus is because, that's the only thing I have to compare when it comes to the Fanatec, DD. And I also have the Thrustmaster TX, but that right there, my gosh, man, my gosh. Like, once you go direct drive, there really is no way to go back to like the Thrustmaster. the Thrustmaster belt driven wheel or a G923. And I hear a lot of the people, in the comment section, since I've been covering this direct drive stuff, these guys asking me questions and stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to tell you straight up. The G923 or whatever, or the Thrustmaster TX or the TSXW or the TGT2 Pro or whatever, all of those things, they're going to get the job done. They're going to get the job done. No questions asked. You are going to spend a lot longer trying to figure out how to set up that wheel to make it feel right for each individual game. You are. There's no doubt about it. And then you're going to get into said game, and then you're going to spend a lot of time learning how to make that feel right, and how to, judge each corner. You're going to do the same runs or the same tracks. You're going to do a lot of it. And I feel like you're going to notice that your consistency is never going to be as close as you're going to want it. I feel like you're always going to find that your consistency is going to be off, but you're going to be fine. Like, you're going to be able to get it done, and it's going to feel, some days it's going to feel really rewarding. Some days you're going to just be like, you're not going to have a good racing day. And that's the thing that I feel like belt driven and those lower end wheels are really good at producing. Like, some days I always thought it was just luck. I always just thought it was like, yeah, man, today I'm having a really good day racing and this feels really good. And some days I was just like, man, this sucks, man. This is a terrible experience. I don't even want to play anymore. And I would have those fairly often. Since I've been using direct drive, every day's been a good day. Every day's been a good racing day. It's not been like, oh my gosh, I'm just having an off day, like I'm having a really bad day. I mean, well, actually there was like one day that I came from work. I was just really beat. I was really tired, and I was kind of having an off day, and I just wasn't really feeling it that day. But for the most part, every other day since direct drive, and aside from the very first day with the Fanatec DD Pro, that day was kind of a little bit rough, man. Like, I was, my anxiety was, kind of high. I was, super excited for it. I got it. I opened it up and I saw the little tiny rim, and I was just like, oh man. And my mindset just started going negative toward the Fanatec experience. It just started going negative from the moment I opened that box and I saw that wheel rim. I was just like, my gosh. And then when I played it, because I started right on the PlayStation 5, didn't adjust anything, didn't play with anything the whole first day. I started right on the PlayStation 5, and everything just felt off. It just felt off to me. It felt too rigid. It felt too stiff, and too, like, I was just like, whoa, this does not feel that good. So I was upset, and I put out my first impressions review that day. But now that I had all day yesterday after work, and I've had all day today to sit here and really focus in and really, get a feeling for the wheel on a multiple, like a vast array of different genres of racing, and really sat down and played with it in the VR, made some videos. I made a bunch of videos already today on the PlayStation 5. After I got it dialed in, I started making some videos, talking about the 70%, and it works. It worked just fine. I feel like that just feels a little bit better. But then I jumped over onto the PC to do some more testing on that, and yeah, dude, I found that, and I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna set it to 100 because I've got people in the comment section telling me that. And so I did. I set it to 100, and I just got in there and started playing around with that. And I'm like, wow, this is actually a fairly decent experience. I'm gonna make my camera bigger so you guys can see me a little bit more, because this is weird, man. This is the thing, man. Like, I like to do that raw feeling, emotion when I get a product and when I make a video. I like doing those videos because you can see the transformation of how I feel about these products as I continue to move forward with them. I don't do this for the money. I don't do this for the clicks. I don't do this for anything else but the pure raw feelings of how I feel about these products, because especially when it comes to sim racing, because sim racing is such a money pit. I've spent so much money on these products since I started doing this about 5 years ago now. I would easily 5 years ago now, because I started back in when GT7, when GT Sport launched. I bought the game, and then a couple weeks later, I went and bought the T150. So since that game's been out, I have had a wheel setup. Since that game came out, I've had a wheel setup. And yeah, I bought the game day one, and it was literally like within a week, I was already over to Best Buy buying a wheel. I was buying whatever wheel I could get right off the shelf, because that was all I could get was a T150. It worked. It got the job done, and it gave me it gave me that taste of, whoa, I want to keep doing this. That was what that did for me. That's what that T150 did for me. But now, as you can see, I'm already worked myself up to a Fanatec. That's a lot of money that I've spent in between then, buying different stands, different setups, different cockpits, different freaking peripherals to try to make it work with others, other whole wheel setups, just so I could swap them out and play Xbox and PlayStation, and then upgraded to a TX. And I was like, yeah, this is where it's at. And I'll tell you, man, my wife's gotten frustrated. My wife, well, it's not that my wife's gotten frustrated. She would rather me just get exactly what I freaking need to do what I want to do. And I kept telling myself, well, I don't want to make her mad. I don't want to make her mad. So I would just nickel and dime this setup, buying different products. And, starting the channel definitely helped, because Next Level Racing sent me that beautiful freaking cockpit, this beautiful FGT. And it's great, man. I love that. I'm greatly appreciative for him. I had a play seat, and then I had this other stand, this stand that I just got from Amazon. Now, that's one thing you really need to be careful of, is the stuff you buy from Amazon. They're not trash products. They definitely do work and get the job done. But man, I've found that like Playseat and Next Level Racing and GT Omega and some of these other brands out there that make these specialized cockpits and stuff, that are actual freaking, companies that do the research to find out and make these products better. You're gonna get what you pay for. Now, the play seat didn't work out for me, because I'm an adult, grown 6'2" man, and that thing's made for kids. That thing's made for teenagers and young adults to sit down and play video games. The Next Level Racing cockpit, the FGT, that's built more for like, seriously, adult sim racers. You could tell just by in the design, the way the seat fits. Such a better experience. And that's actually a perfect cockpit to match with the DD Pro. I feel like it's a little bit like, I feel like you would need something a little bit more sturdy for the Camus Direct Drive, something more like their upgraded version of the FGT cockpit, the one that's the more like the aluminum, the aluminum setup. It looks bigger, it's bulkier, it's better, it's a lot more rigid, stronger frame, more built for that heavy hardcore direct drive experience. I feel like that's something that you would want to get for something like the Camus Direct Drive. But for this setup, for this DD Pro and the FGT cockpit, I think this is a solid setup for that, and that's what I'm going to be rocking going forward. I have no desire to go out and upgrade my cockpit in any way. This FGT is literally perfect. It feels great. My pedals, everything mounts up very nicely to this. When it comes to the different genres of racing, the different disciplines, rally, F1, GT racing, stuff like that, this having a direct drive is going to be an optimal experience for you. Now, I know I was just talking about all those other types of brands and stuff, and I want to make this point very clear to anybody that watches this channel. If you can afford, well, not only if you can afford. That's kind of a dumb way to say that. No, it's not an if you can afford a DD experience. I'm telling you right now, do not waste your money. Literally, don't waste your money on that other stuff. Don't waste your money, as all it's going to do is leave you feeling like FOMO. It is. Especially if you're going to keep watching like my channel or other sim racers, because once you buy a wheel, you're inherently going to watch other channels to try to better your racecraft. You're going to look for pointers. There's things that you're not gonna know or understand, so you're gonna have to look for answers. And you're always gonna get met with that FOMO of DD this, DD that. And because it is better overall technology, not only is it going to last you significantly longer and not have the wear and tear issues, and trust me, I'm a maintenance guy. I work with this type of stuff all the time, motors, all kinds of things. Like I do maintenance for a welding plant. I work on overhead cranes. I work on motors. I work on the yard, you know, forklift stuff like that, like turn jigs for welding. I work on this stuff and I see how long these individual products last and the stuff that we have to do to fix them. With this right here, worst case scenario, you might have to replace some bearings after 10, 15 years of using it at max power all the time. Like, you might have to replace some bearings, but the overall motor and the way the motor's built with the windings and all of that stuff, this is going to last you significantly longer than a little motor with a little plastic gear on it spinning that thing round and round. Those things wear out a lot quicker. They don't have solid bearings in them that are going to have, that are going to be able to run with that stuff longer. You get like a plastic, or it might not even be a bearing. It might just be a bushing in some of those older motors. I haven't taken that Thrustmaster apart, but from what I can see is it's a motor with a gear that's running a belt on another bigger gear, and it's like, this is going to last you significantly longer than like your G23 that's going to have gears in there that you're running, these like planetary gears that are probably plastic. Maybe they're metal, maybe they're plastic. I don't know what they make them out of, but you're going to feel that grinding and stuff in there, and it just doesn't feel good. And then there's other technologies that Logitech has. Don't get me wrong, man. They brought you can see they're all bringing out direct drive. Thrustmaster's got a direct drive. Logitech has a direct drive. There's a reason why they're bringing these products out, and then they're pricing them like $1,000 because they don't wear out as fast. You won't have to buy one ever again. The other ones they can sell cheap because they're like, yeah, in about 10 years, you're going to need a new belt, or you're going to need a new this, or it's going to stretch and wear out and it's not going to feel good. That's why I tell you, that's why they're expensive. That's why I'm saying it's not something if you can afford. It's if you can't afford it, find a way to afford it. Save up money if you have to. All that money you're going to waste on one of those other belt and wheel or gear driven things, they're going to get the job done. But you're always going to feel like you need to upgrade it and get a better experience. That's just part of sim racing, especially if you're new to it and you're getting started. I'm not a pro or nothing, I promise you that, but now that I've had that taste of direct drive, and now that I've bought the Fanatec, which is essentially, I'm not going to say the gold standard because there's semi-cube that everybody, says they're great, but I'll never have a semi-cube. I'll never have a podium DD. I'll never have any of those other things unless they send them to my channel for me to play with them. As it sits right now, the DD Pro is solid. It's going to get the job done a lot better, and it's going to last a lot longer. So I technically wouldn't have a reason to go out and buy anything else. And it's going to have probably the best support when it comes to games. Like, every single game on the market is going to support Fanatec, period. Like, that is probably the platform, and then they work their way down. When it comes to Thrustmaster, Logitech, Fanatec, those ones there, are going to be supported. MOZA's making some pretty big waves out there. MOZA's out there making some pretty big waves. So yeah, we'll find out what they have to offer. But as it sits right now, I can 100% recommend a Fanatec wheel. I can easily recommend this wheel and this setup, just because I know that, like, this is premium quality. Like, it is a premium setup. It is designed to be more affordable. And when it comes to this setup right here, you are locked in a Fanatec base. Like you are. Like you're locked in their ecosystem once you buy Fanatec. The quick release and all of that stuff that they use for here is 100% proprietary. It's not compatible with anything else. I can't take apart my Camus and just stick it on there. Like it's 100% Fanatec. You're going to have to buy their wheel rims. You're going to have to buy their quick releases. You're going to have to buy their pedal sets. Well, other pedal sets will probably work on here because it is using the RJ12 jack, like a phone jack or whatever. So you might be able to use other pedals and stuff depending on if the manufacturers from other companies make those compatible, like a MOZA, like MOZA or Camus or something like that. As long as they make them with that, they should be pretty much compatible. But with Thrustmaster, they've got their little thing set to the side on their R12 RJ12 or whatever, so it's kind of a pain in the butt. You have to buy an adapter like a USB adapter so that you can use it. That really sucked. That made me mad. But and I couldn't use my my Thrustmaster pedals with my Fanatec because of that offset thing, and the only way to plug those in would have been, you know, USB, but there's no USB port on the Fanatec base, so you can't use it. I mean, I could use it. I could have used it. I could have still used my pedals with the PC, but I wouldn't have been able to use them with the Fanatec motor itself. And I wanted to just swap out and use the whole setup. So that's kind of, well, I couldn't use the pedals with the PlayStation 5 because you can only plug one in at a time. And it wasn't working with the Brook because it's already a PlayStation wheel, so it wasn't letting me change it over to a PlayStation wheel. If I would have had the Xbox, maybe I could have done that, but I don't know. It wasn't working. I'm going to hold on to the Camus because Brook is actually working. Brook and Camus are both, you know, working on, you know, bringing support for that. So it will work on consoles. So that'll be pretty cool down the road. We'll try that out again. But as it sits right now, I can definitely recommend the DD Pro. I think this is a good wheel. I think this is a good setup. It's actually a little bit cheaper. It's definitely cheaper than going with either the Thrustmaster or the Logitech. The Logitech, they want $1,000, and I think the Thrustmaster one that's not even compatible with console yet, that's $650 for the base. Then you got to buy your pedals. Then you got to buy your wheel rim. You're looking at the TCLM pedals for that, and you're also probably looking at the like a $200 steering wheel rim for that. Unless you're already in the ecosystem, then you might have some of that stuff or those peripherals. But yeah, as it sits, man, I think the Fanatec is probably your better bang for the buck right now when it comes to direct drive, and they've been doing it way longer than Logitech or they've been direct drive technology way longer than Logitech or Fanatec. So that's something to also think about. But yeah, you are locked in their ecosystem, and that kind of sucks because the prices go from you can get a different rim for as low as $119. You know, you can get like something a little bit bigger rounded rim, and then you can get, you know, the pedals, start build out your pedal set, stuff like that. I see pretty decent, you know, return on investment when it comes to Fanatec as opposed to like Thrustmaster or Logitech. I definitely see a better return of quality and usability. And now that you can, so with Fanatec, one thing I want to stress is pretty much, you know, cross-platform, you know, compatibility. So you buy the PlayStation base, that'll work with your PlayStation, your PC. And then you have to have a PlayStation base if you want it compatible with your PlayStation. The security chip for PlayStation is actually inside the base. So if you want, but if you want to use it on the Xbox, all you have to do is buy an Xbox rim. So you can buy this way. You can buy the PlayStation base, you can buy the rim that's Xbox, you can buy your pedals and all of that and still come in at about $20 more than what I paid for my setup. And then you can just stick the Xbox rim on the PlayStation base and it still works on PlayStation and it will work on your Xbox as well as your PC. So all you have to do is buy an Xbox rim and you're good to go. Like you're good to go across all three platforms. And that is incredible. That is actually an incredible value. On Thrustmaster, you literally have to buy a whole new base. Like you would have to buy at least the servo motor, which is like the TX or the T300, you would have to buy either one of those so that you could use it, but you'd still be able to use your pedals and all of that. And that's still an extra $209 or $300. But if you want like the whole setup, then you're going to have to buy a whole new setup. So that there is pretty good. But I mean, swapping out base after, like, that's going to get annoying really fast. But to swap out a wheel rim, boom, that's so much easier, so much more, so much more. It's a lot more user friendly, trust me, than having to swap out your base every time you want to switch your different system. But if you buy the Xbox rim, you don't even have to do that. You just have to unplug it and unplug it into the other one, and it works just fine. So yeah, man, when it comes to the Fanatec DD Pro, this is a great setup. Now, I was going to do like a little thing like lifting it off and like showing it and all of that stuff, but I mean, you've already seen 1,000 videos out there with everybody there. But this is my review, and I do recommend this product. Now, if you are on the PC platform and that is the only thing you want to use, I do still think the Camus is going to deliver a heck of a value for that. You get 31, what is it, 34 inputs just with the steering wheel and the bass. That's pretty cool, man. That's a lot of value that you're not getting. You get 15 Newton meters of peak power, and then your pedal set is going to be like a full pedal set, all three pedals with the brake mode, with the brake mod already installed for the same price that you're going to pay for the 8 Newton meter direct drive, DD Pro. So that is pretty cool. Definitely something to think about. But as it sits right now, yeah, man, the DD Pro is a solid setup. I'm satisfied with this. I will be getting a bigger rim. I will be making more content on that when I get an Xbox rim. I'll probably end up getting a brake mod, down the road as well. So yeah, man, it looks like Fanatec is probably going to be what I'm going to be using pretty much going forward. And that's pretty awesome, man. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, man. I will see you guys in the next one. And thank you for watching.